안녕하세요. 저는 존이에요. 저는 미국 사람이에요. 저는 한국어반 학생이에요. 제 아내는 한국 사람이에요. 제 아내의 가족은 한국에 살아요. 저는 한국에 4번 갔어요. 저는 한국에 대해 배우는 걸 좋아해요. Korea is a country where the ancient and the modern exist side by side. This 15th century village house still stands outside the downtown area where this 21st century high-rise, high-tech building stands. The Cheonggyeong Palace Summer Garden outside Seoul contrasts with the cathedrals of commerce in downtown Seoul. A modern-day Confucian wedding is held only blocks away from where a doo-wop group performs 1950s American songs. In the morning, you can go to the National Museum and see 14th century cutting-edge technology, King Sejong's self-striking water clock. And in the afternoon, visit the mall and see 21st century shopping mall robots. The landscape is dominated by ancient mountains in every direction, while cities are forested with modern high-rise residences. Most countries' flags represent their national ideals. South Korea's flag goes beyond that and represents philosophical principles and cosmological ideals. Philosophical ideals are represented by the Taeguk yin-yang circle in the center of the flag. Elemental principles are represented by the earth, sky, fire, and water black bars around the outside of the circle. And the metaphysical ideals are represented by the Taeguk circle in the middle of the flag. It represents universal harmony. In this way, South Korea's flag represents not just national, but universal principles. Korea's commitment to these national values is further exemplified by who it honors on its currency. It is no surprise to see the great King Sejong featured on the Manwon bill, but countries rarely feature women on their currency. So it is striking that the Oman won bill features Sing Sam-dang, an accomplished artist, writer, and poet. Finally, the Cheonwon bill features Yi Hwang, a renowned scholar and philosopher. It's a remarkable constellation of historical characters that really speaks to Korean values. Most Westerners may have heard of British Lord Nelson being referred to as the greatest admiral in history. But actually, all naval historians agree that the greatest admiral in the history of the world was Yi Sun-shin. Admiral Yi fought 23 battles against the Japanese invaders of Korea between 1592 and 1598 and won every single one of them without losing a single ship. In 14 of these battles, moreover, not a single enemy ship survived. No other admiral in history has achieved such a record. Admiral Yi improved the design of the turtle ship and turned it into the most advanced naval warship of its day. He was mortally wounded in his final battle and told his aides to hide his death from his troops so they would not become dispirited. The Korean Navy won that battle, and Admiral Yi has gone down in Korean history as its greatest military leader. King Sejong the Great ruled from 1397 to 1450 and was king during the Joseon period in Korea. King Sejong ruled as a progressive leader who promoted policies aimed at improving the life of the common man and advancing the arts, sciences, literacy, and agriculture. His most famous achievement, of course, was the invention of Hangul, the most ingeniously devised scientific writing system that exists. What makes the Korean alphabet scientific is that its letters correspond to the places of articulation in the mouth. He fought the nobility to enable the common man to be able to read and write in his own language. Among his many policy accomplishments, he mandated maternity and paternity leave. Sejong the Great is regarded as one of the most influential monarchs in Korean history, with the creation of Hangul considered his greatest legacy. 200 years before the European Enlightenment period, King Sejong ruled as a true Renaissance man. Sadly, war and colonization have also been part of Korean history, and the magnificent War Museum memorializes America's contribution to the 1950 war. 34,000 American military died during that 3-year war. Twice as many died each year compared to the Vietnam War, which speaks to the intensity of that conflict. Over 400,000 South Korean troops were killed, as well as countless civilians. These struggles and hardships have had a lasting impact on the character and psyche of South Koreans and imbued them with the strength and seriousness of purpose that I so greatly admire. After the war, that strength and seriousness of purpose created explosive economic growth and turned South Korea into one of the world's major economies. Some of the most fun I had was tramping through the markets of Busan, Daegu, and Seoul, full of goods, with delicious food on offer, and of course, a New York burger. I love the rich cultural ancient history of the Korean countryside and the vibrant modern urban landscape of its cities. When I was visiting Gyeongbok Palace in 2015, a 10-year-old Korean schoolboy came up to me and said, "Thank you for visiting our national treasures." That was a special moment. What I really love the most about Korea are its people. 감사합니다.